Is it difficult for you to stay productive and to stay consistent with good habits when you're traveling? Then definitely check out this episode. We're going to talk about the most important points to implement for you to stay productive while traveling and also to get back on track faster after you come back. Hey, this is Kilian coming to you here from Dubai Marina, and I'm actually traveling myself right now. I've been visiting in the past few weeks, few conferences here. I'm here for 2 weeks, and what happened is that a lot of entrepreneurs, also clients, ask me, what do you do when you travel, right? And it's probably, if you're agency or eCom brand owner, you probably go to conferences a lot, even where you live, maybe in that country, or you travel to different countries. And then the question is always, how do I stay productive during that time? And very importantly as well, how do I stick to good routines while traveling? Okay, and I'm going to give you a few tips that you can implement to directly make sure that you have good productivity even when you're traveling. And then the second thing is get back on track quicker if you get off track or when you come home again. Okay, so let's dive right in. The first thing you got to make sure is you got to make sure to have good preparation at the beginning. So number one is good preparation, that you get clear on what is your goal for the travels, because there's different types of travel. First of all, if you go for 2 weeks to a conference, it's a different type of travel than if you, let's say, go for a whole week to a different country and have a time zone change. Okay, so the longer you're traveling, the more important it is that you do good preparations. Okay, if it's just a one-day event, not big of a deal, you don't have any time zone, you're just in your home country, no problem. Okay, so let's talk about the times when, let's say, you go to a different country. Okay, the first thing I would recommend everybody, and that's tip number 2 already, is create checklists. I myself have a couple of checklists which I call travel checklists. I have them set up in Notion, and what we do here is we have something separated according to beginning of the travel as preparation, then second before you travel, during your travel, and so on. And what we have in there are things like what to pack always, what to have in your backpack. So when I go on a plane, for example, I have some pills that help me to not get sick because sometimes I get a bad belly. Melatonin that can be helpful, earplugs, eye masks, things like that can be super powerful. I've been traveling myself here 4-hour time zone difference. It's not that crazy, right? There's longer travels where you have like 12-hour, 10-hour time zone difference. But with the Time Shifter app, it definitely helps you to prepare for this and to avoid jet lags. Then step number 3 is that you make sure to choose the right accommodation. If you choose an accommodation area where you have a gym nearby, super powerful, makes it easy to go to the gym. Here, for example, myself, in this apartment where I stay, there's just a gym here. And I can just go down every morning and go to the gym, super easy. Secondly, healthy meal delivery. Depending on how long you're going to stay, it might make sense to get a meal prep service where they deliver you the food that's healthy. And if you just stay for a few days, you can already in advance check a meal delivery service in the area and pre-order the food. If you have food at home, you're less likely to just randomly order something unhealthy. Super important as well. Then step number 4 is about sleep. Now, the most important thing is when you get into your apartment is that you adapt it accordingly so you get good sleep. What happens here, for example, as well, it's quite noisy and there is even a mosque nearby. So the best things you can do is like black out the room where you're staying, make it dark. Then the second thing would be that you make sure to wear earplugs if there's no other solution to block out noise. There could also be white noise solutions that you use your phone to run white noise with some app to block out distracting outside noise. Very important to protect your sleep. However, of course, I know sometimes when you go out and you meet people, it can get later. But then also find like a balance here, because if you go out until 5 or 6, I mean, if you do it once, cool. But of course, it's going to impact your sleep schedule and you will have less energy on the next day. But that's always a trade-off. And now finally, how can you make sure that you get back into your good habits as soon as possible? Well, the secret really is to have a good environment at home. If you come back home and there's pure chaos, you don't know where everything is, you don't have good routine set up, you will take forever to get back into good working habits again, to get back into eating healthy food, to meditating maybe, to have good sleep. So the moment you enter your door, it should be very organized and everything should be easy to trigger good habits. That is really the secret. And what we have as well, we have a few checklists at home. For example, if we leave the house, what we do. Then there's also checklists if you have different places where you stay. You can have different checklists, what you do for each of those, to make sure it's very easy, it's a smooth process, so that you easily come back and you're like, okay, cool. Now we have our food ordered again. Now the cleaning woman is coming, right? Or anything that you really might need to be able to get back on track quicker. That was helpful for you guys. Also, let us know in the comments what are the best tips that you have for traveling to make sure that you're staying productive while you're traveling, and let us know about that, because I have a final bonus point for you. The most important thing I have found is to protect your deep work. So sometimes when you have a conference day, what's happening is you don't really have much time during the day, right? But if you just protect 1 hour in the morning and you have good sleep and you get some of the most important work done, then you can really enjoy the day, networking, conference, whatever it is, and you have caught up on the most important things in your business. Now, if you want some help with your productivity while you're traveling and you want to make sure you get back on track quicker, are more consistent with your routines, then we can help you with this. Go to kilianmarket.com and apply for your game plan call with me. If this was helpful and you want more tips on how to grow your agency or ecom brand to the next level, but do so without spending all days working inside the operations and having more time for yourself and enjoying the journey along the way more, then subscribe to this channel, hit the button below and activate the clock, and you will always be notified about new videos like that.